Good evening, guys. Today I had so much fun filming that bull action video, I decided to give you another one. Here's my Spanish-American War 1898 figures from Old Glory and 1898 miniatures. I doubt you will find anywhere on the YouTube where you see a bunch of Spanish-American War. The war with Spain was started in 1898 with the sinking of the USS Maine, which they think was a cause of a explosion in the powder magazine. However, at the time, the news people made it out to be a mine, which caused the U.S. to declare war on Spain. So let's get into what the army consists of. So guys, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm a new channel. I'm trying to gain subscribers and show off my brand and show you my hobby journey. So please like the post and comment. Here we go. So, to start off, we got some some Cuban Insurrectos cavalry. These are our Old Glory 28.5 millimeter. They were dipped with the painting method. And then behind them, we've got more Cuban Insurrectos. These are based on the Philippines insurrection figures from 1898 miniatures. The flag is from the flag dude here in Pennsylvania, which is 2 hours from where I live. And then here we have some U.S. Cavalry, volunteer U.S. Cavalry. The Rough Riders, they can also be regular U.S. infantry. It's a mix of Old Glory and 1898 miniatures. Then here we've got more Rough Riders or volunteer infantry. The Rough Riders, the guy in brown, they actually had to buy their own equipment since they were volunteers. So Theodore Roosevelt at the time asked Brooks Brothers to make a bunch of tan uniforms. So a lot of his men copied his design before they went to Spain. Behind him, we have another unit of Rough Riders, but in the middle, you'll see a famous Mr. Bucky O'Neill, who is famous in saying, "There's not a Spanish bullet in the world that can kill me." 5 minutes later, he was shot by a Spanish bullet. He's also played by Sam Elliott in the movie Rough Riders. If you've ever seen that movie, it was on TNT in the 90s. I highly recommend it. Next, we got some more Rough Riders with the same uniforms from 1898 miniatures. We've got a U.S. infantry volunteers. The flag is from Flag Dude. These are a mix of 1898 and Old Glory. Old Glory makes a really comprehensive Spanish-American war line, and you can get them here in the U.S. or overseas. Behind them, we've got the first regular U.S. infantry. These miniatures are mostly Old Glory with the flag from Flag Dude. Here we've got some more Rough Riders. And then over here we've got the 9th U.S. Cavalry, the Buffalo Soldiers, led by a famous, soon-to-be famous Lieutenant John Pershing, who led the U.S. forces in World War I in France. These are mostly Old Glory, or mostly 1898 miniatures. The flags are from Flag Dude. Behind them, I've got a ton of U.S. sailors, which are mostly Old Glory. These figures were used as shore party when the Marines landed to conduct their various small wars throughout the Caribbean. They also saw service in China. This army can basically be used from 1890 to 1905. The rules I use for it are Blood and Steel from Firelock Games. Really good rule set for the wars of the period. I highly recommend trying it out. And behind them, I've got the U.S. Marines. With the two guys, the flags are Signal Marines, and these were used to invade down in Cuba and take the naval base at Guantanamo Bay. That's why we have it to this day. Figures are from Old Glory Miniatures, 25 millimeter. Behind them, we've got artillery. So there we have the famous or infamous dynamite gun, which was not a very good weapon at the time. Theodore Roosevelt detested it and was almost killed by it in Spain. Then we have a breech-loading Armstrong gun from 1898 miniatures. Then this unpainted model, which I haven't painted yet, is from a 3D printed company on eBay. I was looking for a really good revolver cannon, Hotchkiss 37mm, and I found it on eBay from a small company out of the UK. Next to it, we've got a Gatling gun. Then next to that, we have a potato digger machine gun, Colt machine gun that was actually gifted to the Rough Riders by a rich person from Connecticut to help because they needed automatic weapons. Behind him, we've got a signal or a Morse code operator. This is from a small company out of the UK. I don't remember who makes it. Apologize for that. Behind that, we've got a logistics officer. The two figures in the back are cowboys from Knuckle Duster that I painted to basically look like logistics officers. Behind him, we have another officer that could be a generic Rough Riders officer of some type. And then next to him, we have the man himself, Theodore Roosevelt, both mounted and dismounted. My favorite president, no shameless plug there. But figures are from 1898 miniatures, really cool models. Then next to him, we have General Wheeler and his son. General Wheeler was quoted in saying, during this war, we've got the damn Yankees on the run, which he thought he was fighting in the Civil War because he was a Confederate general, when in fact he was fighting the Spanish, and his son basically said, Dad, they're Spanish. And then next to him, we've got an adjutant with General Wheeler, or General Shafter, my bad. General Shafter was too fat to get off the boat when they invaded Cuba, so they had to wait for calm seas to get him off the boat. So I have him there. He's an old Civil War general. Next to him, we've got we've got Frederick Remington, the famous Western painter, showed up in Cuba to help paint and be a correspondent to the U.S. forces. Next to him, we've got Stephen Crane, the guy who wrote The Red Badge of Courage. And next to him, we have William Randolph Hearst, the famous publisher who they think started the entire war. Then behind that, we've got two mule trains to help with the logistics. So overall, guys, this is one of my favorite armies to show off to you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm having a great time with this channel. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good night.